Bombardier is cutting thousands of jobs as it's facing declining revenues and a net loss. It's already received a $1 billion bailout from the Quebec government. Now it's asking Ottawa for money as well. Mathieu Bédard is an economist with the Montreal Economic Institute, which is an independent, not-for-profit research group. So tell me, you don't think that the federal government should be giving Bombardier money?
No, I don't think the federal government should be giving more money. If you look at how money Bombardier has been receiving since 1966, it's been receiving $3.8 billion. So it's already a lot of money. Bombardier has asked 51 times for a grant over the last 50 years. I think it's now time to sort of start this kind of blank check to Bombardier and let them take their responsibilities.
But the question is, can Bombardier survive without it?
That's a very interesting question. Of course, Bombardier is having some difficulties right now. I think it is time to think about other solutions, things that we weren't discussed up until now. And one of them is, of course, bankruptcy laws and what would happen if Bombardier went into bankruptcy. I think in the case of Bombardier, where it's a very large company with a lot of patents, a lot of gray matter to make those patents work, there wouldn't be so many job losses. I think we should start looking at those solutions.
But, you know, it's one thing to, you know, as an economist to say, let the economic forces do what it will do. But on the other hand, when you think that, you know, the aerospace industry is one of the gems of Quebec society, it's a very hard argument to say, well, you know, let whatever happens happen.
Yes, but it's a very expensive gem, and you have to be able to pay for your ambitions of aerospace. If you look at, for example, what Europe is doing, is they're supporting its aerospace industry. It is true, but it's a 500 million taxpayers economy. The U.S. with Boeing, it's a 350 million person. Brazil is a lot of people. Same thing with the planes being built in China. We simply, with our 35 million taxpayers, don't have the backbone to support such.
So what you're saying then is maybe we're just too small to have an aerospace industry?
It's a little bit that we're too small, and also that maybe there's just isn't the place for so many players in the aerospace industry.
Because another thing that you make the case too, that whenever the government does give a company money, they usually also put in certain restrictions. You know,
yes.
You have to maintain this or that. And you're saying that that is counterproductive. That might even cost jobs in the long run.
Yes, well, of course, I think we shouldn't give money to Bombardier, but I think that if we do give them some money, we shouldn't put too many constraints on them, and maybe there's some reason for those job losses. The C-Series, that they're not selling too many, they have trouble. There's been a letter of intention from Air Canada, but before that, they hadn't sold a plane since September 2014. At the same time, when the industry is overeating with so much orders, Boeing has many thousand planes sold. Airbus on the same kind of models has even more planes sold. And even in that sort of climate, where there's a kind of bubble in the aviation industry.
But it's interesting because I think, you know, you're one of the very few people who are actually saying we might just be too small to have an aerospace industry and let things happen.
And the market
so I'm just assuming that you have no aspirations for a career in politics. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We'll be right back.